guys, and welcome back to another speed paint drawing. This week we were drawing Blaze. I'm trying to get a character drawn each week. Now that I'm back to work, I don't have as much free time, so that's all I can manage for now. So yeah, this week we were drawing or redrawing Blaze, which was pretty cool, pretty awesome, but also came with its whole bunch of challenges, and that's what I'm finding every week, or with every character. There's like a whole bunch of challenges, and even though these characters are already preconceived ideas and I've got sketches and reference to work from, there's a whole bunch of challenges that show up every time I go to draw, like anatomy challenges, posing challenges, like drawing their outfits, deciding what they're gonna wear and stuff like that. And one thing that I found this week really interesting is that, or one thing I actually learned is, while designing this character or redesigning, redrawing the character, I was focused so much on the facial features and making sure that everything was okay and right, and that when it comes to that side of things, that like I forgot about the outfits that he's gonna wear and like all of that kind of thing, and it just like it was draining, like mentally, like while designing, like trying to overthink and make sure everything was perfect. Then after a while I just decided, you know what, let me just, like, as I'm drawing this, let me just get the character right, like the face, the expression, the posture, like how tall he is in comparison with the other characters, because I wanted to make Blaze taller, just because it matches his character profile and his personality traits a lot more than if he was like the same height as the rest of them. So in that process I realized that, like, I feel like when it comes to like clothing, when it comes to all of those extra things to do with a character, like during the process, like of production and other things, like they can change, like clothing can change, a whole lot of other things can change like during the process, like but like you can't change the way the face looks unless like some sort of supernatural thing happens in the story, and I'm not really trying to write that into the story. The story is what it is, for a reason. So like, yeah, it was interesting to tackle those challenges and see how best to go about it. And the way that I found easiest was to just continue with the drawing and focus on the areas that mattered the most, and really try and nail those areas down, like get that like as good as I could get it at the time, so that moving forward I have a solid base to work from, like as a character base. I think the reason why this character was so difficult this week, and even approaching it was like at the back of my mind. I haven't, or until now, I hadn't been able to, like, to settle on the shape of his bulb. Like when I first drew him, and I was with Bay Diamond drawing in like at church, and he was just giving me ideas. When I first drew him, like I just drew this massive box on his head, like, and it was just it was a funny character, and it's like, but I don't know, it just never sat right with me. like that's the shape of his bulb, like. And it's been very difficult to come up with an idea, because there's only so many light bulb shapes, and other light bulbs or light bulb shapes have been used for other characters, like, and they suit their personality traits more. So it was like I was online just searching for different bulb type shapes and stuff like that for the mood board and stuff like that. And I came across this gem shaped what do you call it, bulb, and I was like, wow, that's interesting, like, because it I don't know, it sort of stood out to me, because his character is quite sharp, like his character is quite like abrasive, like, and I don't know, I don't think any other bulb shape would have suited him anymore, like. And it's funny how these things work, because in the back of my mind I was thinking maybe I should do this, but then actually seeing one online was just like, yeah, confirmation, I gotta go ahead with this. So yeah, I designed, that's probably my favorite feature of the design. The character design is the bulb shape, like it's designed in the shape of a gem, and like, yeah, I think that will sort of point to some areas of his character arc, and where he's going as a character in the story. So yeah, it's really interesting to look at that and to decide finally on a bulb shape, because before, what he had was like this sort of flying saucer disc, like, which I thought was cool. It looked okay, like, do you get what I mean? But he's not a samurai ninja. So I just decided to go with this shape. And I mean, the construction stage, like constructing like that, the character was difficult. I found it so difficult because he's also more muscular, more built than the other characters, and like factoring that into the design I found it a bit difficult. And all the proportions and even his pose, I wanted to give him something that was a bit laid back, like. And the first thing that came to mind was I was watching what's that show, the Seven Deadly Sins on Netflix. Diamond put me onto that, and I was just like, the character that he reminds me the most of in Seven Deadly Sins is Ban, and he's always walking with his hands behind his head, in that sort of relaxed pose, like. And I found it very strange, but it suits Blaze the most. So that was it was good to resolve that like sort of pose for the character, and show off like some of the features of his personality whilst designing the character, which is cool. I found it difficult to draw the filament of the bulb in, mainly because there are all of these diamond shaped lines, like to show like the cuts of the gem. So it was difficult to put everything in. So but yeah, I managed to resolve that in the end, which was really good. But yeah, like designing this character got me thinking, like there's so much to do when it comes to a character, and there's so much, like when I was designing Lenny, like, or redesigning Lenny, it was cool. Like, he's the main character. Like, I've already got a lot of ideas and stuff like that in my head for him, and I want to keep things very simple and all of these other things. But one thing that I found was focusing on the main character sometimes meant that I wasn't doing the other characters justice in their design. So having this having the ability to focus on Blaze as a character was great. Another thing that I found was while I was designing Blaze, there were all these other things that I had to think about that I didn't have to think about while I was designing Lenny, because Lenny was the first character I was redrawing. All I needed to do was follow some aspects of the previous drawing and just keep the drawing a bit consistent with some of the features. But with Blaze, I was trying to keep him consistent with the other characters that I've redrawn. So that's Chase and Lenny, and it was difficult to keep him consistent. But I really got I got a bit excited when after drawing this character, I put him on a canvas with Lenny and Chase, and like it's all coming together. So like it was really exciting to see like the sort of final look of how these characters are gonna look and feel and stuff like that, which was really cool. Yeah, when it comes to his design and like I said, I think the week before I said one thing that I've been struggling with is like lights and shadows and where they fall on the body, and it's sometimes it just gets so long. And one thing I'm also trying to keep in mind and bear in mind is this is a character that's going to be animated. This character is not like while I'm designing this character, he's not just an illustration. He's not going to be static. So I'm trying to include enough information to let you know what kind of a character he is, like what he is made of, and all these kind of things. But I'm trying to limit the information that I'm communicating in the drawing, because this drawing is going to be have to be drawn tons of times, like so many times, like even for like a 1 second animation. So now I'm trying to bear that in mind. However, I do get like carried away with the design, because it's exciting, and you want your characters to look as cool as possible, and to like be able to carry the story well as well. That's one thing that I've been thinking about and trying to address. So yeah, every obstacle is part of our journey to create Lenny the Lightbulb, the series, and we embrace all the obstacles just so that Jesus can be glorified. That's what we're aiming to do at the end. And yeah, that's it. This has been another redraw. This is the final render of Blaze. Thank you so much for joining us again, and I guess I'll see you next week. God bless.